All right. So, kicking off this assembly in a few moments, I have some pretty fun stuff to talk about coming up for March, and we've been hyping that quite a bit amongst our events and more. There's quite a bit planned for next month, so we'll get to that in just a moment. But firstly, I want to welcome everybody here with us today, all of our new faces that have joined us across the community. Of course, this is streamed live and presented to our whole community, so not just folks here in 14 are watching. We'll be mentioning a little bit about our Azure Wings closer to the end. Of course, most of what we have to talk about here today will be FF14 related. And we're going to start off by discussing activity, the current state of the community, and then we'll be going from there. So it's amazing that Midgard-Stormer has opened. This is a time of great excitement, meeting a lot of new faces, meeting so many folks who have either been waiting to join us, folks that we were able to get to know kind of in the midst of that server congestion. I think previous assembly, I may have mentioned that we have it's our Azure Infinitum Reserve Core, basically a project to invite folks from across the North American region to a cross-world link shell, as well as mini FC for folks that might want buffs or FC amenities before transferring to Midgard-Stormer. And that project has been very, very good, although it was very early on by the time the server actually opened. So when it did open, a lot of new faces that had been waiting a very long time to join us were able to come in. That's why you've seen a burst of recruitment. I think that was an excellent idea, and I want to thank those that were involved in helping with that project, those that joined and also helped, level up a mini FC. And that, that was for the purpose of transferring and coming here. So very, very cool. Also, we've had a lot of awesome faces that we've gotten to know who have come from other data centers and just all over the place. Friends and family of members. We've had people who've just wanted to get onto Ether and try it out. I've been waiting for it to open since it's become the popular place to be. And of course, with that, we've met a lot of folks who either haven't had an active community like Azure, or maybe have been looking for exactly what we offer here. And we've been really proud to welcome them in and happy to get to know them. So once again, another big welcome to all of our new faces and members. We have seen the biggest burst of recruitment in the past month or so. That would probably be greater than most of last year, and the biggest burst of one time in a very long time. I think the flood of folks coming to Ether, has definitely made it easier. And of course, like I said, we were closed for 11 months. 11 months of server congestion. So it came as a surprise. We were kind of expecting it to be on a major patch for the maintenance that would unlock it. And it came during a small patch, a small maintenance one night, just a few weeks ago. And my goodness, it has been very exciting. So very, very exciting. And I also want to thank our teams. So specifically our Azure Scout Squad Initiative and Support Team Assist. That's our scout ranks, and also our leaders. Thank you to the council as well, and everybody that's helped manage recruitment reports, helped bring people in. We've got a lot of members as well who are helping new members acclimate and kind of find things to understand, how Azure works and our processes and things like that. We are a very well-rounded community. We have a lot that we offer. We are expanding as a gaming clan as well, which has been very exciting. I want to talk about that as well later on in the assembly. But we have so much going on all the time, which is great. It's almost can be overwhelming for some. So it's really good for our members who have been helping bring people in and explain how things work. Those that have kind of taken the time to check out the website, check out the Discord, see what's going on, and everything's in a state of positive, constant growth. And that big burst, has been really, really, really helpful. Of course, we've also been advertising. We've been pushing into that opportunity as well. It's no secret that our goal is to grow carefully, but also is to keep going basically. So there have been a lot of questions noticing that we're getting closer and closer to that cap. There is a cap in the FC in 14 of 512. However, as we've been to that cap before in the past, we have protocol. So there will be certain things like alt removals. Not to scare you, but that's underused alts that are not logged in for over a month may get removed for new members. There are some characters that I have that are just for bonus retainers that can be removed. We will also be bringing the inactivity limit down just a tiny bit, just by a little bit, just to help clear a few spaces when we get to that cap. So we're not there yet, but we're closing in on it, and we have new faces joining every day. So it is an inevitability. So I want to remind everybody, if you have an alt in the FC, every member is welcome to have 2 characters in the FC. And if you have an alt in the FC, please make sure you log in on it once in a while, in under 30 days at least. That way it may not be removed. And it will be random when we get to the cap. If there is alts that are like, 2 months out, not even touched, those will be removed first. So that is something I wanted to address because that is an inevitability. It's very possible by the next Grand Assembly that Azure will certainly be at that cap at this rate. So very exciting. So, our goal, we kind of believe that I certainly have always been pushing for this, but I believe in careful growth, but as well as steady, right? So, of course, we need to address when we have these moments like these where a lot of new faces are coming in, and we're also, like I said, we are taking advantage of the openness of the server, and we're even advertising on dead servers, for folks to transfer. So we're doing a lot right now to really get this push going. But the idea is that, and some people may not all understand how this might work, but when you have the cap and you also have a good inactivity policy, you're also removing really inactive folks. There's also people who just tried the game and didn't come back, and so there's all kinds of people in the inactive list. The goal is to create the most percentage of active players at one time, but we're also curating different time zones. So don't worry about there being like an overwhelming amount of people online at one time. It will be very evened out between different times of day. So we have seen the nighttime come alive like never before, the early morning, people talking all through the night. And so very awesome to see that. We want to continue to kind of work hard at also, when we push recruitment on top of just having people come in, we want to make sure that we're looking for folks that are also on in the times that all FCs struggle with in the morning and the late night and stuff like that, to make sure that when you play 14, you have a guild that has people on all the time. All the time. You can get on at 5 o'clock in the morning. There's folks talking. You can get on at noon in the middle of a weekday. There's people talking, because that makes the experience feel more alive. It feels more, together. Even if you're not a social person and you're in our community, you might enjoy seeing chat active. And that's a very good sign of the pulse of a community when it has an active chat. It's kind of what we all want to see, in a sense. And we all know that every community, no matter what, is going to have dead times. But we are addressing that really, really well, I believe. And we're going to see things come alive like never before. So this is really awesome that we're going to keep up the Infinitum Reserve Core project as well. So they're, because even with the server open, there are people who may, have to wait a month or two to get the funds together, or maybe they want to try us out for a little while before joining. So, Infinitum Reserve Core will continue recruiting for the cross-world link shell. And because cross-worlds are small, in my opinion, they're like 65 slots or something. We're going to be making several of them. So we also would like to have some members in the cross world, so that way the cross world is populated with new faces from other servers, as well as members of ours, so that way they get to know people as they're planning on transferring. The whole purpose of it is to plan on transferring. So you don't have to worry about missing out on action and some other link shell or FC that we have going on. It's literally just for the bare bones of providing amenities while people are planning on transferring. So it's a very good system. So far, like I said, a lot of folks have come over from that. We're really glad to really see. There's some names that we have been waiting over 8 months to see join our community, and they're finally here. So big welcome again to everybody. As for events, we're seeing a little bit of a rise in attendance, of course, which is also natural with the amount of new faces as well. So that's very, very positive, very good. Everything is very healthy. Of course, to our scouts and up, we are always looking for new names for our duty roster to come on board and join the logistics teams for event hosting. For those that may not know, our whole event hosting logistics network is compiled between a few different channels where we collect things like data on who's available, what times. We have a host order. We have event reports. These reports are small notes that are collected for the purposes of the team to be able to see how an event operated, how much attendance there was, if there was any needs or issues. This helps us with moments where players, in our community that we care about our players, our members who may have certain needs. Maybe someone is hard of hearing, and there's a good note that somebody left and said, oh, this person, might need this explained in a different way. Those are really good reasons why our event reports matter so much, as well as the way our team is organized to be able to communicate between in-game logistics link shell and online, channels that we have that we provide for that. So in this network that we have for hosting, it is extremely good to have more names signing up to Scout, as well as for our hosting ranks as well. So Scout captains are those that are cleared to help host these events. Sergeants are really active scouts that are either learning training or they've just been, remained helpful during events for a long time. And anybody that's been with us for a few weeks, you are welcome to, reach out if you're interested in joining the Assist Corps or the Scout Squad Initiative and Support Team. We certainly are always looking for new scouts. Like I said, we usually limit that to about 2 to 4 weeks, just to make sure that we know that someone knows the community at least enough as a general level. Not like you had just gotten here. So, we have a number of names even right now in queue for me to talk with that want to come up. And so we're excited to see so many hands helping. We're excited to see people really, getting involved and staying involved. It's great. Right now I'm very, very, pleased with our community, but we always have room to improve. And we always like to hear from you guys too. If there are things that, you're curious about or you wonder why something is done, it means a lot to us because not everybody is used to something like this. Like they might have a guild, they might have been in, bigger or smaller guilds. They might have been in guilds that really took their guild seriously, but might have not been as organized, or maybe they didn't have, protocol and stuff. And I assure you, a lot of the stuff that we do, it's because we've been here a long time. We've encountered a lot of situations, and we find that the best way to address some of these situations, this goes with, how we do our grouping procedures, how we handle problem solving, things like that, warnings, anything like that. We've tried to find the best way across the board to take care of these things. And so, just a little thing I thought would be a good thing to mention here is to just remind everybody that, if there's ever any question on, how or why something is done a certain way, please feel free to reach out. We want everybody to understand. So, activity, like I said, is very, very good. There are some things with the wings also related to activity, but I'm not going to talk about them just yet. I think everything in our event schedule right now is going really well, and we don't have anything new content-wise for events that's coming out. Now, another question I wanted to address was the variant dungeon question has come up many times this past week. We are on the verge of receiving a new variant dungeon for Dawn Trail. Very exciting. Merchant's Tale will be out here real soon on the March 3rd, I believe it was. The patch is coming, releasing another Hildebrand chapter and Merchant's Tale. Merchant's Tale is the first variant dungeon to have 3 difficulties. One where you can kind of just, play it real easy and just enjoy the story, and then an advanced mode, and of course the typical criterion and such. but we always have new faces coming into our community, and so the question comes up when these come out, and the question that has been come across my desk several times has been, will we do an event for the deep dungeon? Not the deep dungeon, sorry, the variant dungeon. And the answer to that is no, because the variant dungeons are a little bit difficult to group for unless you have the same group of people progressing together who knows, like, okay, this is, the 5 options that we chose last time, we're going to choose the next, because they're multiple outcome dungeons. But if people group, but they all have different levels of things that they've done, they're like, oh, well, I've answered these 5 questions and chose these 5 routes, but everybody else is different. It's not going to serve an event party very well to go in and have to do things that they've already done multiple times. Also, these things do scale, and they are easier to do solo. So they might be fun in a group, and Criterion certainly is different. That's a different level of difficulty that you want to group for. But when you get to that level, it's more of a static type situation where you want to get the same group. So LFG channel, very, 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 very good resource for doing the variant dungeons. Highly recommended. This is something that, we're expecting our members to utilize if they want to do a group like thing with the variant dungeon. It's just not super grouping friendly, as opposed to deep dungeons, slightly different content, but deep dungeons, we at least can see people get rewards even if they're repeating floors that they've already cleared. Variant is a little different. Variant's got a whole, plethora of possible outcomes and chances that, we don't want to make grouping difficult or waste anyone's time, really. So the answer is no, we will not be doing an event for the variant dungeon as we haven't for previous. And what we've noticed in the past when we did try it was that folks would just realize that they could get through it real quick solo, and then they wouldn't come to the event that we tried for it. So, and the interest in those varies greatly. They are not for everybody. Some people really don't like them, and some people really like them. So, which of course that's the case with a lot of content, but I just wanted to address that here today. We're not sure when 7.5 is coming. 7.5 should be announced at the next live letter, although I'm assuming that they're going to be like giving like a part 1 and a part 2 live letter for it for sure. The most juicy bits should be at FanFest in April. So the Fan Festival in April, that's another big thing coming up. We got a lot of exciting stuff this year. During the Fan Fest, there will always be a live letter on top of the expansion announcements. So isn't that exciting, guys? About a month and a half from now, we're going to know 8.0's name. We're going to know a little bit about where we're going for this next expansion. Extremely cool. I'm super hyped. I love expansion years. They're a lot of fun, especially here in Azure. You can only imagine the explosion of activity and excitement when we get to those things. The expansions here are amazing. I mean, we've seen triple digits online at one time, throughout the day and night, through early access weekends and even the first, couple months of the expansion. It's going to be wild. And with our current organization and where we're headed right now, it's going to be more exciting than any other expansion I think that we've ever done as an FC. So I'm super hyped for this. This is a really exciting year. And we've got 3 fan festivals. So here's what Azure does during fan festivals. And we're going to move on to the next announcement soon, but I want to make sure that this is announced. We will be doing a watch party, which is, our usual. It's not a super secret, but we also have it on the year calendar. There is a year roadmap calendar that is in announcements. It's only been posted once. So I will be posting it on the website and stuff as well. But you'll see it there in April, as well as for the Japanese and European Fan Fest. So if you're newer to 14 or you haven't watched a Fan Fest before, know that what they do is they do the North American one first. And you get Yoshi P's keynote speech. That's the producer. And he will talk about, like I said, the name, where we're going, the idea, etc. I personally feel like we might be going somewhere cold for this next expansion. I think that it's pretty likely that they will flip the game upside down once again, like they usually say they do, and give us something totally opposite of the summer vacation that we just had in Dawn Trail. So maybe somewhere cold. Who knows? I'm rooting for the Viking class to be a new tank. I think a double axe tank would be really cool. Or maybe something else, double sword. I don't know. Well, they just did double swords of Viper, so they probably won't do that. Or maybe they'll mix it up and do something nobody can expect. Who knows? But we will be doing a watch party to see all that information for the first time, lay our eyes on it for the first time together during Fan Festival weekend, which we will also be doing a heavy amount of giveaways. We will restore the Fan Festival category in Discord, which has our old FanFest chat, which goes all the way back. I believe that we started that chat with Stormblood, or was it Shadowbringers? So it's an old chat, and we've got FanFest channels for everything, including folks that actually go to the show and want to post pictures. It's a really cool thing, the way that Azure does FanFest. So look forward to that in April. It's about a month and a half away. Very, very, very exciting. A little closer to 2 months, but yeah. But it is in April. And so, we'll also get the 7.5 live letter during that time. Well, during the 7.5 live letter, at least one of them, since there should be 2 parts, one in a few days for the next live letter coming up, and then the next one after that. We'll be talking about what we're assuming to be Northhorn. Northhorn is the second half of the Dawn Trail Relic series, of which we plan on having our Crescent event, our Crescent Crusader event. That will return for Northhorn for sure. If they don't do Northhorn and they do some other mumbo jumbo and try to get us into some other kind of grind for the relic, you can be sure that we'll figure out some kind of event to organize for it. But when the Crescent Crusade event returns, currently, as far as we know, it will be planned again for the Friday prime time slot that is prior to Friday night treasure fights. So around this time, actually, on Fridays. And we'll see. In previous expansions, we did double Eureka nights and we did double Balja and Zadnor nights. So depends on popularity and depends on how long the content lasts. The Crescent Crusade that we did prior did not last super long because a lot of people got caught up in Occult Crescent real fast, and within 2 months, the content was almost dead. So, not totally dead, but, people got everything they needed and were out of it real fast. It didn't last as long as Balja and Eureka did, so that made it a little hard for us to keep it going. Again, too, we are also growing, so that's a factor. There will be people at different levels of progression on everything. So as we grow and our teams grow and we mobilize, we are always concerned about these things, and we want to make sure that we provide as much as what we can that our team can. And that's why folks stepping up to help is always extremely helpful, because then we can do more for each other. So there's some exciting things on the horizon, but before we get to April, we've got March. And before we talk about March, I'd like to welcome all the new faces that have joined Azure Infinitum community-wide since the last Grand Assembly. So, some of these may be alts, but we just have a list of names, and I'm going to go down them. So, I'd like to welcome, starting with Chutoy, Vrella Lesrekta. I'm sorry if I butchered that. Karis Day, Deltrons 89, August Adulin, Harlequin Bell, Liv Miller, Fluffy Goat, Ashlyn Darkthorn, Lord Beerus, oh, we got the god of destruction himself, Cinder Dragonman, Tormac, Priestess Hiea, sorry if I got that wrong, Rin Vlad, Paging Dear, so sorry, it's a lot of consonants in a row. Looks like Dr. Frag frag grenades, Connell Antwog, Amaranth L'Oreals, Riot Blade, Lime Cat, Aria Croy, Iris Wings, Alex Weston, Rico Suave, Abernie Weston, Yasuke Yukimura, Spartan Storm, Actually a Dude, good name, Connell, I said Connell, Claudine Mizuke. We have North Advert, Troa 89. I wonder who that is. Yami Milo, Vivian Nova, Tunnel Visionary, Rafa Voss, Lifto Volti, Furry Lionheart, Varian Remival, Dracos Maluali Chur, Apologies if I got that wrong. Sanchos Vias, Belmead, Konami Kokomi, Madeline Mead, Drift Along, Yarjan Sea Spark, Ultan Tia, Conning Grave over in Warframe. It's Conning's Warframe. Reyna Lightblade, Reyna Lightblade, Krayoth Arma, Justina Case, Ikaya Emberheart, Shizuka Mizuki, Istakio Whitelight, Wandering Waffle, Mershed Perturter, Zealandi, Kirisef, Bloodguard, Ariel Helvetica, Elahim Kaslana, Sol Z, Yuki Sato, Hana Joy, Krisa Locrime, Flori Bandita. Wow, we've got so many names. This is amazing. Ethan Pierce, Helena Blackfrost, Evander Hawthorne, Kale Sirius. Okay, that one's gone. Okay. Dorian Haumont, Kefi Clemwizzle, Saracon Clearwolf, Eric Sasawau, Sarah Rail, Grungles Vando, Glitter Stardust, Shinmaga Mizero, Predzi, Rin Arda, Kolkoi Avanar, Rowan Mayfair, Kim Sieghart, Melinda Bamba, Salongo Kali, Nikki Lionheart, Vivian Voltaire, Solomon Talus, Namiya Sandiva, Mizaha Komine, Eat Glue, Zealandi Omen, Solomon Tales, Namiya Sandiva, Jasmine Wolf, Sakura Moonrose, Aaron Akudama, Faye Avani, Claire Fryer, Arudel Arcros, Lunar Visage, Leoric Raphael, Amy Thist, Poppy Muffinson, Nora Longblade, Tap Somg, Staravia Ryazaki, Wolfie Fujimori, Valea Dura, Zach Dragonfire, Yuko Quintal, Ithariel Stormwake, Toko Wedian, Ren Asclepius, Miko-chan, Jimel Brightbow, Daddy Bonk, Big Daddy Savage, Promsifer, Angela Santavera, Casera Viz, Gideon Steelvale, Rugard Lightbringer, Air Biscuit, Mayela Celeste, Jillian Valentine, Illyria Vorkoth, Mikazuki Augusta, Sphene Garnett, Meteora, Renaxi, Scav Bishop, Cosmos Andali, Wind Up Leora, Yaz Solidor, Armadale Exodus, Theo Vipera, Kitai Ardiak, Atlas Sumner. And I believe, let me double check that. I believe that is everyone. I want to double check, make sure. Yes, that is all of the names. That is all of the names that we have logged. If we missed one, we apologize. Everybody is logged through our recruitment reports, which helps us know what date members joined. Since we do have a join limit as well, it's good to reference if someone joins again in the future. Also, like with event reports, if there's any needs or anything like that, it's good for our team to know. That is all of the names that have joined us in the last month. That was a lot of names, guys. I don't even know how many that was. That was a lot. I didn't count them. Welcome, new members of Azure Infinitum. All right, guys. Let us talk about March. So next month, we have some exciting stuff going on. I know I said that already, but we have some very, very exciting stuff going on. We have the first quarter Azure Day weekend taking place for March 2026. Azure Day weekend taking place the 28th and 29th of March. Now, for Azure Day weekend, for those who do not know, this is our quarterly celebration of the FC, because one time in November is not enough for Azure. We have a lot of fun doing some traditional social events, parades, game shows, prize giveaways, races, hidden object mazes, all kinds of crazy stuff that we do during those weekends where we mix it up. We have events called Need for Speedgens, where we do group unsynced dungeon races. We've got all kinds of crazy stuff that we do, hide and seek games, you name it. There's a whole bunch of stuff coming up March 28th, 29th during those 2 days. We like to shower the FC in rewards, with Gil, millions and millions of Gil. In November, we invested about 80 million into that one. That was a big one. That was our 11th anniversary. And we will have a lot of, prize items as well. Very expensive mounts, minions, all kinds of stuff to give away. It's going to be pretty crazy. This is going to be the first time in a couple years since we've done the March Azure Day. We actually skipped last year. There was a lot of other stuff going on in game and stuff we were working on and other exciting things that we were doing. But this time the March Azure Day is back. And during it, we've also got some crazy stuff going on that's extra normal than usual, which I am so excited to announce to you guys today. So first and foremost, we have the announced at the last assembly, we have the Azure Grand Duel Tournament 30. This is the milestone 30 of the Grand Duel tournaments. This is a 1v1 PvP, fully bracketed tournament that audience members can watch or enter. You're welcome to do either. Or both. And it's 1v1. So all you have to do is show up to the dueling circle. We are finalizing a date, but it's most likely going to be on the Sunday of Azure Day weekend, which is the 29th. So that is a very special event. It's a very honorable tournament. Even if you're not great at PvP, we still welcome you to come in and fight for glory under the Azure sky. Some people often are underdogs or completely surprised. PvP has been simplified in recent years to, down to just a number of actions and combos, and gear is synced. You don't have to worry about gear at all. Levels are synced, it's just 1v1s. Fights are best of 3 until the finale. The final is a best of 5. Now, the contestant who makes it to the very end gets a shot at the Infinitum Championship, which is currently owned by none other than Vidario Superstario Sandermore, Lieutenant of the Azure Council. He is currently reigned for 1 full year, beating every opponent that's come his way until, who knows? Could it be someone? Could it be someone next month? Who knows? But the Infinitum Championship is a long-time running championship that's run since 2017, actually. We're almost 10 years into the championship. It's changed hands about 11 or 12 times. And those fights, like I said, are a best of 5. So tournament victor, not the one fighting Vidario, but the tournament victor will be the one fighting Vidario if they wish to, because they do have a choice. But tournament victor will walk away with the prize pool, including a very, very special mount that has been placed as a bounty on Vidario. A 40 million gil mount that is going to be a hot item, is something that I think a lot of people are going to want to try to go for. Oh shoot, what was the name of it? It's in the chest right now. I forgot. It's very new. It's a very new one that came out not too long ago. But it's a 40 million. Yeah, somebody's going to go look. Yeah, it's Pilgrim's Protector. Yes, it's the Pilgrim's Protector. A tough item to win from the Pilgrim's Traverse. That is the deep dungeon that's new that came out at the end of last year. So very highly sought after, very expensive. That doesn't even include the Gil pot starting at 5 mil, which is going to skyrocket probably by the time we get to the tournament. So who knows? The biggest Gil pot in history was 20 mil on top of the, if it reaches that, the 40 million Gil mount that's going to be there for the tournament victor. And it's big. So you never know. I mean, we've had folks come in who were not confident and they ended up winning the darn thing. So who knows? This is a DPS and healer tournament, no tanks. There will be official rules on exactly how it operates and what's allowed and what's not allowed on the website as we get closer. Now, for Azure Day Weekend, we usually post a program guide online that has an hour-by-hour description of all events. It's a program, like you would get a program book at a live event. This is the same thing. You can download it. It's provided online. You can see everything that you might want to, attend, or things you might be interested in that take place over the weekend. And it's very helpful to know kind of what's going on. So there'll be some pictures, some descriptions. If this is your first Azure Day Weekend, get ready because it is very exciting. This is also where we do the really big group screenshots. When you see like 50 people in blue tabards, all kind of uniformed and in these big group shots. We just do that several times a year. So, if you want to get into one of those photos, we have photo ops. And there's a lot of stuff that goes on that weekend. So it's going to be very amazing. Like I said, parades, contests, giveaways, raffles, and more. Now, aside from the tournament and aside from the other amazing events that are going on, we've got something very, very special that's been planned by the council and I that has been totally a secret and totally under wraps and has not been leaked or as far as I know. And I am extremely proud to announce this for March and also for Azure Day Weekend. Now, 7.5 has something very special coming up that we've been waiting for a long time. In fact, we've been waiting on this since 2023. Any guesses? Any of our chats? Any guesses? Any guess on what we've been waiting for? Yes, Raven. Beastmaster. We have been waiting for the Beastmaster limited job to appear, and it is coming. It was announced in 2023 at Fan Festival for Dawntrail, and we've been waiting a very long time, going on 3 years. Beastmaster is coming in a few months. But why wait until Beastmaster to celebrate Beastmaster? So, throughout the month of March, we have planned something called Azure Glamour Contest Beastmaster. All the details will show up soon, but to give you a little glimpse into what to expect, we will be running a month-long glamour contest for our aspiring Beastmasters. This will include a number of categories. That is a group category glamour contest. This will run throughout the month of March, starting tomorrow. There will be a category in Discord for details, submissions, and all the contest rules, what categories we have, and it will run all the way until Azure Day Weekend, at the end of March. The awards that we're offering are overall Best Beastmaster Ensemble. So that's overall composition, the cohesion, creativity of the costumes, and the impact that they have. The most cinematic scene in the screenshot contest looks like an official expansion key art screenshot or something, really artsy. The most original group concept, kind of like having some wild idea, but executing it really well. We're doing an award for best storytelling screenshot. So if you've got a narrative, something that your screenshot is telling a story, very, very good award for that one. These are also I forgot to mention the prizes too. Best overall Beastmaster will get roughly about 10 to 15 mil split between the group. So most cinematic scene is a 6 million gil prize. Most original group concept is a 5 million gil prize. Best storytelling is 4, and best use of minions and mounts. Excellent creature integration in these shots will get you 3 million gil split between the groups. So there's a bunch of awards to go after. We are really excited to see this screenshot contest take off. Like I said, they will be we're going to have a lot of information posted. So look for the special Beastmaster contest to be posted in Discord. The total split depends on the award. The best award for Best Beastmaster Ensemble, this is the grand prize. 15 million gil split between the group, whoever is in the group. So if you have a group of 2 or 3 people, if you have a group of 5 people, it's going to be split between the winners in that screenshot. So the Discord category will have a submissions area as well as rules and links and things like that. Now, it's not just going to be a month-long screenshot contest. We're also going to be having a live runway over at the Azure event venue in one of our other wards, where we have a mansion made for events, where we have our big runway, big catwalk, and audience chamber down below. It's a whole mansion floor. That's the same estate that has our auction house and our triple triad tournament chamber as well. And over there, we will be holding a live Beastmaster walk-on singles competition, which will also have overall best Beastmaster. That's a 10 million gil award with a choice of 10 million or a rare mount or premium Mog Station FF14 online store prize. Apex Predator for most intimidating, dominant, or powerful presence on display. Master of the Wilds, the best use of animal themes, furs, claws, and tribal elements. These are around 3 million gil prizes as well. Most imaginative, creative storytelling through glamour and emotes for 2 million gil. And crowd favorite, which we're going to be doing a live vote in Discord alongside the live show next month at Azure Day Weekend. So we have 2 Beastmaster competitions throughout March. One is during the live show, or one is during the weekend as a live show for singles, and the other is a group screenshot contest that will be hosted all month long. Tons of prizes all the way around to, accompany this month of amazing things happening all the way around. So a lot of stuff coming. So it's going to be an exciting month. We're going to have a lot of people running, the variant dungeon together. There's going to be folks, checking out the new Hildebrand chapter. Our current events will continue to flow as we see new recruits popping in and new faces. And we've got this amazing, screenshot submissions are going to be popping up all month long. And then we're going to have a big cherry on top at the end for Azure Day Weekend. So it's going to be a month. It's going to be very fun. We will be doing judging criteria, which is the judges that we have for the group screenshots. They're going to be judging theme accuracy, creativity, visual impact, execution, and polish. This information is all going to be made available, so you guys can reference this. You don't have to remember everything right now. But there will be more rules. We have some rules, so it has to be Beastmaster theme, obviously. And then there's going to be, submissions. We want to do group screenshots without mods, without shaders. We want original screenshots. So there's a lot of ways that you guys can get creative without that stuff, and are able to make submissions that can win you a lot of gil and be really, really fun and really cool. And, fun and fair for everybody, whether you're console or PC. So I hope that you guys are excited for the stuff going on next month in March. Let's take a quick break from announcements before we get on to the next topics I have, and do a raffle here. I'm going to take a quick break and do a raffle. So if you'd like to enter our first raffle for this Grand Assembly, please /random in the chat box in-game if you'd like to enter in-game. If you'd like to enter on Twitch, go ahead and put a 3-digit number in the box of the chat box of the stream. And you can also put a 3-digit number in the Grand Assembly VC chat as well. We got a pretty good sized crowd today. Pretty awesome. Good handful of folks across VC, Twitch, and in-game. Great to see. Yep, again, that's /random. That'll give you a random roll in game. So the way this works is the number closest to the number that I roll here in a second live in front of everyone, that will be the winner, the one closest to that number. Will win something from the Azure prize pool. The defensor giving us some squats for luck. Kato with the shine there. Nice. Broken getting dance moves on there. All right, see numbers rolling in. Give it a few more seconds. I know I can't wait to see the Beastmaster submissions. Well, that's going to be fun to see. Quite a while ago, we also did a movie screenshot contest, and it was that screenshot contest was like really cool because people reenacted scenes from so many different movies. And it was a lot of fun. But this is the year of the Beastmaster, so. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and slash random here. All right, and the number closest to this one will win a prize. 62. Oh my gosh, that's so low. Okay, let's see who is closest to 62. 62, 62. 62, we got to see any low 100s. Cunning's at 93. Oh, Zayla's at 79. Tenure 51. Oh, man, that's only 11 away. That one's 11 away. It's looking like tenure to me. Double checking our chats. Yep. All right, yeah, definitely looks like tenure. Congratulations. Let's see here. Okay. First raffle prize, 1,000,000 gil. Congratulations. All right, we've got our next raffle coming up here in a little bit after the next announcement phase, so stay tuned. More opportunity to win. Yes, 1,000,000 gil. Wahaha. That might not have been my best impression, but it was something. Alrighty, so we have talked a lot about really exciting stuff coming up. Really looking forward to those Beastmaster submissions there. Okay, let's see here. All right, so we were going to talk a little bit about some of what we've been doing with our network and our wings. I wanted to talk about the. Let me put a link there for them that way. There we go. Okay, so there is a lot of exciting things going on in FF14 for sure, especially over the next 30 days. We like to continue to remind our members that 14 is our core. That's kind of the way that we are organized. Is that 14 is our core. There's no fear of all the leaders got into another game and then they never come back. Like that's not a thing here. I am always dedicated to 14 being our core, but I also want to assure that our wings are what we call our Azure wings. Those are our guilds that are established in other games. We do have criteria for establishing these wings, and we get questions all the time about, would you guys open an Azure wing in this game or that game? And the criteria really just comes down to the viability for what we look for. Obviously, we don't want to put 100% of our activity in all of our years. We might put a lot of percentage, but we don't want to put 100% just into 14 because, should the day ever come, I don't know if it will for this game. It's probably going to end up decades long, even if it has a couple bad expansions. Even in 14's, 14's pretty strong. But we want to make sure that we continue to even out and into our other games, viable games with clan systems, roster systems, things that we could use our universal rules charter, our ranks and things like that to continue to try to provide similar or the same quality that we do here in 14. So it's really important to us that the wings also don't feel abandoned either. Although we have to ask for a little bit of patience with getting them going, as well as some of them in their current state. The design is to have wing commanders, folks that are scout captain rank and above, who like to help spearhead something forward and kind of run it almost as a guild master, while reporting to council and I as a sort of leader or representative of said wing, right? So obviously I can be in a lot of places at once, thankfully, but I can't be in every place at once. So it's very, very helpful to have wing commanders who will step up. And we also have folks that can be like wing commanders who are not ranked up, who can serve as like I said, spearheads for helping push, either recruitment or events, or maybe they're knowledgeable players. Say that, you're in WoW or SOTOR or Monster Hunter or Warframe or something like that, and you're a very knowledgeable player and you want to help, and you may not be a higher rank in Azure. We call that Pathfinder. So Pathfinders are wing commanders. Pathfinders can also become wing commanders. Are people in our community who help spearhead these wings. There can be more than one. But we typically want to stick to, not a ton of them, but, several of them at least, or one with a number of Pathfinders assisting, to be able to help spearhead these forward for Azure. And darn. And so we've had a couple wings where, we get started and, something would come up, or we'd have a wing commander drop or something like that. And so there is a challenge, no matter what. Even for Azure, there's a challenge with getting things off the ground. So there's many wings that are available to join, and they may be at different places of progress. Our Destiny wing has just a couple spots left open, so we are moving into creating a inactivity policy for Destiny, since we're about capped as a clan over there. Destiny currently has 2 Azure Warden events. The Azure Wardens meet up twice a week. We know that times don't always, fit everybody. Just like in 14, we pick the best times that hosts are available to be able to offer something weekly for the clan and for these wings. But we also want to see more wing events come up here in the future, so we're looking forward to that as well. As we grow and establish, Azure as an overall gaming community, this also creates a sort of freedom where people can say, well, maybe, I've spent all week on FF14. I just want to, do something for, next week or a few days, or maybe I'm taking a break from 14 and I just want to play with my Azure friends in another title. Well, there's our wings. Our wings are a very, very good way to do that. And to be able to offer that with, like I said, with similar quality, similar grouping methods, similar ranks, we're growing, multi-platform, multi-world, multi-dimensionally, and it's very, very cool. It's we've got folks that have literally, one wing has seeded another wing, or seeded 14 even. We've had folks come in for Destiny who've ended up being names that we see every day in 14. And so, yes, we currently have a wing in Destiny 2. That's our Azure Wardens. It's one of our very oldest ones. It's been going since Destiny 1. Our Star Citizen wing currently has somewhere around upwards of 20 people who get together usually once a week to do things over there. We've been building over there as a clan for the future for when the game eventually launches. There's a lot of stuff you can do now, however. So it's kind of a pre-learning, preemptive, gathering credits, doing salvage missions together, things like that once a week. That one has an event. We also have World of Warcraft, which was started last year and has not seen a lot of progress, but there's a good 20 something or so folks, that casually play WoW in the Azure wing. Of course, there's a very big thing that happened the other day, which is the Midnight expansion just launched early access the other day. So that's currently going on right now. I've been meaning to hop over there and clear the expansion real quick and, work on recruitment as well. But we do have the World of Warcraft wing. We are very interested in finding a wing commander for World of Warcraft, which we currently do not have. We also have our Monster Hunter wing, which as of last assembly, we announced that Monster Hunter wing would go into a sort of indefinite hiatus as far as events goes, unless we see big activity for the new upcoming Monster Hunter Monster Hunter Wilds expansion, which is inevitable, which was just announced that it's happening. So just like with Iceborne back in the day, our Monster Hunter clan has actually, that wing has been going since the 3DS, actually. We started it back with 4G Ultimate on the 3DS when in Azure's earliest days, we had people getting together on 3DS. And so we went through all of World. We had 2 instances where World kind of came back alive and went again, then Iceborne, as well as Monster Hunter Rise. We had events for those as well. And so Wilds last year has been a really fun experience, but unfortunately, the PC crowd has had a difficult time with Wilds, given a lot of glitches and shader issues and stuff like that. So we're hoping the game has continued to stabilize, and the next expansion for Monster Hunter Wilds, or the new one, will be really, really good. But that is available to join. However, it is always capped. So what we're going to be doing as well is removing upon request, because it doesn't see people join it constantly. We kind of have like most of the people in Azure that already play Wilds who want to be in it are in it. But if you go to join it and, we need space made, just say the word. Yeah, just say the word. We can clear space as needed. So folks who have not logged into Monster Hunter Wilds and you're in Azure, maybe log in just to kind of hold your spot, because inevitably when that expansion comes out, there's going to be a lot of people, playing it. And we don't want to have to invite like a ton of people who just didn't log in to come back in, but obviously we will, because, we love you guys and we want you guys to be a part of it. If we have to make a second one, we will. But I just want to make a quick statement on that. We do also have our Elder Scrolls Online wings, and we actually have, it is a wing, but it is technically 2 guilds. Bethesda said, no, we're not doing crossplay. And so we said, okay, hold my beer. We'll make 2 guilds, one on PC and one on PlayStation. And so, we have that going. There's about 40 people between the two. Like I said, it's smaller, but it's there. These are games where you can have up to 5 guilds. So it doesn't hurt to have Azure in your back pocket. Before it, totally takes off over there and grows further. So those are available for those Elder Scrolls Online players in Azure Infinitum. If you would like to be there, just let us know. They don't really have a very good way of joining without getting a direct invite. But I'm always available to hop on and send an invite anytime. At least you can invite people offline, which is great. We also have our Guild Wars 2 wing. Guild Wars 2 continues to see multiple updates, expansions yearly. It is one of our smaller wings. However, we had to start it over. Unfortunately, we lost our Guild Wars 2 wing back before we made new rules for the wings. We used to have, just people would make one and I'd approve it. And, that went sour when someone left and took everything and destroyed it and dismantled it. And then we lost it all. So, so the Guild Wars wing is, it's there. But, if anyone was willing to, they know the game well and they're willing to help out with that, that would be absolutely amazing. We don't have a guild hall in it anymore because of what happened. So if, someone wants to help work on that, that is a game where you actually have to grind out a lot of gold and do some quests to get the hall. And I'm pretty new to it. I'm still trying to learn it as well. So, there's that. And, of course, one of our goals when making a wing is to get into, said viable game and then establish a guild hall, establish a guild bank, start filling it up, recruit. That's kind of like there's a whole, priority list that we do when we move into a new game. So we don't make wings official until we really know that it's something super viable. And sometimes they get retired or postponed for a while. So it really depends. But that is available. And again, Guild Wars 2, like ESO, is a guild where you can have multiple, you can have multiple guilds and just swap around which one that you represent. And so it doesn't hurt to have Azure in your back pocket, for when the time comes. We know that one's going to be around a long time. That game is going full steam ahead. They've even got Guild Wars Reforged, which came out, which was very interesting. And there were some questions about that as well, but we've decided to just stick to Guild Wars 2. And then maybe if we get, a good Guild Wars group going for a while, we'll be ready for Guild Wars 3, which is inevitable. So we also do have our SOTOR wing. SOTOR is pretty decent off and on in activity. That is a game that a lot of people seem to play periodically more than every single day, which is also fine. It could be a nice vacation from other games. It is still going strong, and it is actually getting an expansion in the near future. So it's alive and well, a lot more than what a lot of people think. Just go there and see. There's people everywhere. SOTOR is a game that, this is Star Wars: The Old Republic, by the way. Sorry, I use acronyms a lot. This is a game where it encourages alts, because leveling all the alts gets you cross-class abilities for, your mains and stuff like that. It's very, very cool. Lots of good story writing. Very excellent, in my opinion. Good old BioWare type writing style and stuff. Choices, kind of like Mass Effect. Very neat. And Furry. Yeah, see, he raids in SOTOR several times a week. Yeah, it's very alive and well. The thing about our wing, we have an awesome guild hall. We chose Alderaan is where we set up our guild hall. Thankfully, this is about 3,000 years before the whole planet explodes, so we're good. If you've seen episode 4. And we also have the Azure Infinitum flagship, which we move around for, different invasions. And the flagship also is like a secondary guild hall. And that one's actually packed with resources. There's a chest there. There's buffs that we put up month long. We have NPCs, just about everything you would need on a basic level at the flagship. So if you join us there, check out the flagship. We are actually looking for more members in SOTOR to start working on the command encryptions. We need those to be able to unlock the last couple parts of this ship. So that's kind of like a group effort thing. So do your conquest dailies, and don't forget to choose command encryptions if you can. It'll be amazing. And last but not least, we have a very exciting thing that happened in the last few weeks. We made the official Warframe wing of Azure Infinitum. It is official. It's been talked about for a little while. It's been requested heavily over the years. But thank you to those who have been involved, especially helping set up the the hall over there, or the dojo as they call it. We've been building up resources, crafting stuff. We've got a number of people who've joined it over the last few weeks. And I myself, who played it in the very beginning, I wasn't super impressed. I went back recently, and now I'm impressed. It's actually very cool. It is also a lot more fun with people. So when you have people to play with, just like almost any game, any of these MMOs, it makes it a lot better, right? So with Azure, we're looking at Warframe as probably something that, could definitely become one of our most active wings. I can very much envision it being at least as active as Destiny, and a couple of the other ones, but definitely probably is, it's very popular. So, especially with the evolution of the game since it started. So invites are ready anytime. We definitely, we definitely want to know if you want to join it. We have folks that can send invites. Remember, it is new, so there is a lot of leveling up for the clan and the resources and stuff, but we're getting it going rather quickly. A lot of veterans of the game are involved with this, and it's taken off. So the more folks that we have joining it, the more people who play it at least semi-regularly, we'll start seeing an event at least once per week for Warframe. So we're really happy that has gone well. That has gone really, really well. Because the last thing we want is a brand new wing that just kind of like, comes out and then slows down. We want to make sure that these have a constant progression. And it's no secret that we have a couple that are slow right now. WoW, Guild Wars, and ESO are all moving slowly. And again, we don't have wing commanders for those. So we have no wing commanders or pathfinders, but we do have casual players. And we want to make sure that when we invite people to wings like that we also give them a little bit of a disclaimer saying, hey, think of this as kind of like an early access Azure wing. It is something that is planned to do more with, but everything's a process, right? So we want to, like I said, we focus on our 14 core, which we've got a lot going on for, like we've talked about today, and then of course, work on the most active things first and the things that we can get the most people together for first. But these are all in progress, and we love seeing it. And it doesn't mean that there aren't other games that Azure can be active in. We've had Battlefield Clan before. We've had the Diablo group is still out there. There's two of them. One of them is actually a troll thing. The other one is the real one. So, there's little things like that scattered out in different games. Personally, I will go and actually make Azure clans to make sure that we have our name secure and that we have something official. So that way, because we do have trolls that will go out and make stuff ahead of time just to try to keep stuff from us, which is stupid because all I have to do is announce it or link that this one is the official one and everybody knows it. So, but yeah, if you're playing games that are online and you happen to see there's an Azure Infinitum clan in it, most likely it was something that was made preemptively, just in case it becomes a wing. So there are a lot of things like that. You'll always find the official wing lineup on our website under the Wings tab at the top of the page or in the Azure Wings category in Discord. And the thing about our wings is that it's not just the in-game stuff either. Online, across all of Azure social media, which is many websites, TikTok, Instagram, Blue Sky, X, Facebook pages for individual wings. We have an Azure Pinterest. We have an Azure Instagram. We have an Azure Threads. We have all these things, Azure Tumblr as well. Across all of these websites, including the Azure Wings channels, they receive weekly news updates. This also goes out on azurenet.com, which is our content website. That's where I've been writing for many years. It used to be Runaround Network, and I merged the brands into just the name Azure. On that website, we have weekly news, anime, games, pop culture stuff, figurine news. There's movie review, movie and TV show, anime and game reviews, lots of stuff. Again, I am one person, so I might be able to do a lot of miraculous things, but we're always looking for more help. And if you like to make content or you like writing reviews, if you like writing about your favorite stuff or even just news updates about stuff that comes out online and you would like to contribute to azurenet.com, please send me a DM. I'm happy to add anybody, to the writer list, the editor team, that we have to be able to post there, because the more the merrier. Kind of feel like the more information that we're able to provide, the more helpful it is to our members, as well as discovery too. We have folks that discover us through social media as well. On our YouTube, as well as other websites, we have event reels. Funny moments during events get combined into reels and videos that get uploaded. Kind of gives folks an idea of what goes on inside the community. Gives them a good insight into here's these guys having fun, laughing, and having a good time, and kind of shows us how friendly our community can be, and that's nice too. And of course through our news articles and the Azure Wings. So it's really important to us to keep these updated. And to, continue to share news for each of the wings because, it's one thing to just have bots updating it, which, we have that in a few channels for helpful reasons. But the stuff that's kind of curated, that could be helpful to guild members and stuff is also really important. Plus community content, screenshots shared in the screenshots channels. They will be often selected randomly and featured on our social media. There's a little disclaimer about that in some of those channels as well. But we like to share member content. We want to show your stuff, to the world, and just continue to project Azure and grow as a whole community overall. So, that being said, everything is in a good state of progress. Some slower than others, some much faster than others. But it's very good. It's very, very good. Okay, so we kind of went over an analysis of the state of Azure right now, doing very well, probably possibly better than ever, actually. This is the era of Azure that we call the Ascension era. There's a lot of folks that may be new, or maybe you joined before the eras changed, but it was actually a really good way to categorize our history. So we have a long history ever since our founding, when we were once the Crimson Blades Free Company for a very short time. We refounded into Azure Infinitum, and there's a whole wonderful, amazing story about how that happened. And as we became Azure Infinitum on November 2nd, 2014, that fateful day, ever since, we had the founding era, followed by the RC era. We call that for short. That's Resurgence Carillium, Rising of the Azure Sky. That was when we did a really big overhaul back in 2020 to 2021. We had gone through everything we had learned the first 5 years, and just created new ranks, a new organization. We made our new website, our social media, all kinds of stuff. And then, of course, the merging of RAN, or Run Around Network, into Azure Infinitum, and becoming a gaming community has been the RC era, coming up into the Ascension era. This is where we are on the rise. The snowball has begun, and we are continuing to add new wings and meet a lot new faces, and produce even more stuff going on. And so as Ascension continues, there's no end in sight for what we can achieve together as a community. And to me, that's very, very exciting. It's been a long time of learning and getting to this point. And, we continue to have needs across the board. Again, like I said earlier, we always need folks stepping up in rank, scouts, as well as event hosts and pathfinders and wing commanders. That is always going to be a need. So with all that being said, and a lot announced, a lot of exciting things going on, we'll take a quick break here before we do our Q&A phase and do another raffle. All right, Defensor with the lucky squats. Time to dance. Yes, and I did want to address the some Discord stuff here real soon, right after we do this. So that's been a big question soon. If you know what I mean, you'll know. Okay, if you'd like to enter our second raffle of the assembly here, feel free to put a 3-digit number in the Twitch chat, the Grand Assembly VC chat, or do a /random here in-game at the hall. The number closest to mine will win a prize. All right, see those numbers coming in all across the board. Very nice, very nice. All right, let's take a look here. I'll give it about 30 more seconds. If you haven't entered yet, feel free to enter the raffle with a 3-digit number in any of our chats or put a /random chat in game. After this, I will only have just a couple more things. Just a couple quick things. They're small things, but they're important. And then we'll do a Q&A. And at that time, if anybody has any questions, concerns, ideas, proposals, feedback for council and I, that'll be an open forum segment. If you have weddings or you're looking for a static, you're putting a static together, anything like that. That is definitely the time to do that as well. Here, once we do Q&A. Okay, let's see. Number closest to mine. Let's go. Ready? Here we go. 770. 770. Okay, let's see. Looking at all numbers. There's a 697 on Twitch. We've got a handful in VC chat here. 727 is pretty close from Johnny. Okay. Taking a look here. 770, closest to 770. 722. 727. I'll do a little bit of math because we got a couple low 800s as well. Oh, I just saw the 783. Oh my gosh. Okay. 783. Yeah, there's a lot of numbers across the 3 different chats, so I'm just making sure. I want to be sure. Okay. Yeah, okay. I think 783. Unless I am missing something, please tell me if I am. Zoc is 13 away from the number, so that looks like Zoc to me. Lots of 700s. Wow. Okay. Congrats, Zoc. Yep. Zoc with the 783. Very nice. Okay, where's Zoc at? There she is. Congrats, Zoc, on another 1 million gil. Congratulations. Okay, guys. So for our final phase of announcements here, just a few quick things I want to run down. So there's definitely people aware that Discord has announced some things recently that have been mostly unpopular for those that know about them. Discord has talked a lot about some identity type requirement stuff, some things that generally, some folks don't care, and that's fine. Others are a little bit concerned. Quite a bit of people are concerned given Discord's data breaches. So, this obviously is a very important thing to us because this is a major hub of ours here. We want to, just basically address that, they are still kind of, nothing's really like set in stone. There's some things that have been kind of back and forth for the last couple of weeks since it was announced. There's stuff that has been said. They were walking back a little bit on some stuff. Other stuff, might start appearing or may has already appeared somewhat. One thing that concerns me most is the stage channels, which is the one we're using right now. In the future, not right now, but in the future, may require some kind of ID verification, which I think is a bit unwise of them to do this. But we don't know yet. If that happens, we're not going to, our stance basically is that we're not going to provide any service in Azure that requires that by any means. So, if we have to do a regular VC for Grand Assembly, we'll do that. There's no reason why that wouldn't work because we could adjust settings. So that way, I have priority speaker. So, nobody will have to worry about missing announcements. And then we would just unlock it for the Q&A part. I think that would be a little bit easier to do instead of having to worry about that. We have also removed the NSFW channel for a lot of reasons. One, it wasn't actually getting very much use. We did update our policy on NSFW stuff that you can find online in the one of the most recent posts that we made, which was a weekly update a few days ago when we announced the Warframe clan. We also did a weekly update on the NSFW policy changing in Azure. It's important to us, but it's not something that we like wanted to do right away. But when we started realizing there's a lot of factors that not everybody might realize that are at play here, and we don't, like I said, we don't want to provide anything that would be age gated or require anybody to actually have to use an ID for Discord. So it's kind of silly. So that being said, if there's anything that comes under that sort of ruling with Discord, we will find a way to adjust. There might be some of you out there that say, oh, well, screw Discord, I'm not going to use it if they do this. And that's totally fine. That's totally your right to do so. But if you feel that way, maybe keep Azure, because it won't force you to do that. Unless there's something totally outside of our control, then, we'll address it and we'll figure something out. But at this time, and I'm hoping for good, we don't have any plans on leaving Discord whatsoever. We want to kind of work with it and do our best to provide a service that doesn't provide anything within the service that we offer within Discord that will make anybody do that. So if they say, you can't have stage channels without verification, we won't do the stage channel. We'll find another way to do a different VC. If, they say no NSFW without that, we're not going to provide that. And like I said, some people it's a no-brainer. They don't care. Other people are very concerned about their data. So, that's a concern for us too. So I just wanted to address that. I have read through all the fine print. I've went to their website. I've read like paragraph upon paragraph upon paragraph. I've read feedback. I've read tweets from developers of Discord, all kinds of stuff. And, there's a lot of stuff moving right now that we don't know, what they're going to settle on totally just yet. If there's anything new within the last day or two, I haven't really looked in the last day or two, but I know that when I did a deep dive into it, I'm pretty aware of what they're going to, what they're going to kind of expect at this time. Maybe they'll walk that back, but they did say that nothing should prevent you from using it the way you're using it right now. So that's good news. But again, we'll be on top of that. So no worries about Azure and Discord. Just wanted to clarify that. Wanted to get on top of that and make sure we had a good official announcement on that. And when there is any other sort of finalization about it, if there's anything that's like important enough for us to announce, we'll announce it community wide. That way nobody hears in the dark. Remember that Azure has many avenues of communication. We have this assembly that we do each month. For those scouts in higher rank, we have an assist meeting that happens a week before the grand assembly usually, and a council meeting as well. We also have private channels where you can reach out to leaders. There's a ticket system in our Discord. Very few people use it, but it's there. Any council member can see those tickets that come in for help tickets. You can also DM council and I. Those are lieutenants generals and myself anytime, if you need a leader for something. And of course, all of the scout ranks are the support backbone of Azure Infinitum as well. So, as we grow across all of our wings and within 14, especially, these services and channels are really helpful to help making sure that, every voice is heard and, we're able to handle, whatever comes up. So, just a reminder that those exist too. And of course, I have to do one more shout out to our Azure social media. We do a lot of posting throughout each week of all kinds of stuff, event reels, member content, news, especially news, lots of news. Facebook is unique because there is individual wing pages for each wing there, as well as a master Azure page. And then of course, across the other ones, it's a mix of everything. So news begins at our X account and then goes out to all the other ones simultaneously. So we post anywhere between 3 and 30 posts a day, and they go out to like 13 different websites. So there's like hundreds of posts going out every day. Most of the time, unless I've got a crunch day and I can stand to, spend an extra day on the news or whatever. So there's that too. You can find us on any major social media site. You type in Azure Infinitum, you'll find us. And with that, unless my fellow council members here have anything they would like the floor for before we go into Q&A, please let me know. Or even if it's after, that's fine too. Okay. For Q&A, there is a, this is specific to our chats here. So the way we do this is, Twitch, we have a way where you can, you can post in Twitch chat, you can post in FC chat, or you can post in Grand Assembly chat. If you have anything you want to post in text, if you would like to come up to the stage and actually speak in voice here with us, that'll also be on stream, just so you know, and it'll be in our Assembly Cast recording. There is a stage channel wave hand button, and that'll tell me that you'd like to speak. So for those in game, this is why we have the podium. So the podium there in the center of the room, come up to the podium if you have something that you would, like to put forward to the community council or I, as well as if there's something say you're not in game and you like to post in our chats, you can do that as well. Or if you don't want to use mic, you can also post in the chat. We'll read off your entry there and then answer. So that is it for the major announcements. Again, Q&A. So if you have announcements for yourself, if you've got like, hey, I've got a static I'm making, I would really like, these type of players to join me. We're doing this type of content. We want to clear POTD 50 for the first time, or we have, I want to get a group together for variant dungeons coming out. Or if you say, I'd like to take on Savage and I'm looking for these members, I'm going to post something in LFG. These are all examples of what you can post here or say here that would that would be helpful for everybody to see and hear. And if you have an Eternal Bond ceremony, I know there is one coming up. There's a very special one coming up here real soon. It's also a good time to mention that as well. We have we got a couple people here asking in different places. So the first one is Mars Bar on Twitch. Mars Bar on Twitch. Saying, I would like to know who our officers are in FF14. Okay. So these are all lieutenants and generals. I myself am FC Master. Our lieutenants and generals, you can see them on the list on Lodestone. You can also go to the website and click About the Azure Council, and you'll see them there. I actually have one more to put on there and one to take off here shortly. But all the other leaders are on there. So very, very easy to find for the FF14. So here with us right now at the assembly is General Defensor Fortis and Lieutenant Rokenbow. Of course, in our council, we also have Terry, General Terry. He's on sometimes at night. He does a lot of stuff in the background, helps with the Onion Project, helps with the FC airships and submarines. Our champion, our current PvP champion, Vidario Superstario Santamore, Lieutenant Aaron Wells. Johnny Gatt is a lieutenant in our council as well. Coco Zico, our lieutenant, and mastermind behind Monstrous Mondays, EX Trial Learning and Clears. Our Lieutenant Nikki Chu. She's around quite a bit, hosts several events. Our Lieutenant Ronan. Celine, Lieutenant Sestier, one of our two Celines that we have that we love so much. And Lieutenant Ceriz, recently back in action. A pretty good lineup of what guilds would call officers. We call lieutenants and generals as the Azure Council. Most of the council is made up by lieutenants, overseen by the generals and I. And lieutenants are chosen from scout captains who have successfully hosted and completed the all of the things that we have to offer in the Assist, which is the Azure Scout Squad Initiative and Support Team, ASSIST. Assist is its own support organization within Azure that we lead, and those that master the way of the scout, the sergeant act as an active scout, and then they're cleared for event hosting. They become captains, and those captains continue to host until a point where, if they're interested, we'll bring them up to council. Again, there's no pressure to ever promote in Azure. So if you are like, oh, I just would like to stay a scout and be a helpful light moderator and help out here and there, totally fine. We've got people we call career scouts. That's their thing for years. Nothing wrong with that at all. Start getting involved with the events and coming a lot and helping, being very, social in the FC as a scout. You get automatically, get brought up to sergeant. Sergeants are the ones who are cleared to request training for hosting if they desire. And because our hosting follows a certain protocol to make it easy, 15-minute grouping and different things, the hosts are trained in the ways that, this might happen during an event or that might happen. That's why we have a couple sessions with them and we just call it training. And then we get them to where they, fully understand the things that can come up and what we do under certain conditions and situations. This is why events run so well in Azure, because we have all this, done way ahead of time. And those who host events are trained. So very good system. It's a little bit about our leadership. Thank you for asking. Okay. And let's see, Ceriz, did you want to come up to the stage or your voice, or did you have something that you wanted to say here in text? I can read it off either way. Okay. Let me see here. Request to speak. No, I can just invite you to the stage, I think. Invite to speak. There we go. You should have gotten an invite to speak. Didn't get. Okay. Do you see the request to speak button? Because you can click that, and I can also approve. There he is. Hey, Ceriz, you're muted. There you are.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Lieutenant Ceriz. Wanted to say hi to everyone. I know we were talking about things coming up for different events and stuff. One of the things I really like to do, Beastmaster's coming up, but Blue Mage still exists. I will be doing Beastmaster stuff. I don't know if there's already a free group behind the scenes working on that, but I will be joining that if there is. But I also like to do Blue Mage content, and if anyone is interested or wanting to just, play around with it, I have a good amount of experience in that, and so do a few others. It's one of those things where we don't want to start anything until we have the group, so we never like, oh man, I want to do this. Well, and it never works out. So if anyone wants to join or learn how to do that, be more than happy to do that until Beastmaster comes out. So just DM me if you're interested. If you're brand new to the idea, I can teach people. We can go learn spells. It's not too difficult. Level up. So yeah, that's basically all I wanted to say is, about that.
There might also be a good thing to post in LFG, Ceriz, just a little note that you're doing that, and then that if anybody, that way they know who, they might think, who's the guy at the assembly that said that about Blue Mage? Might just be a good place.
Yeah, I can do that. I can make a little post.
Yeah, not that you're looking for specific groups, but in case they're looking, they can message you. Just might be a good thing. Just suggestion. Oh yeah, already see one person that says they're interested. So yeah, and that's the thing too about Blue Mage stuff. We have had a Blue Mage event in the past, but it's also something that has a lot of finite, goals, right? So with Mountathon, when we farm EX trial mounts, that is spread out bi-weekly, and also we have RNG as a factor. With Blue Mage stuff, in the past, we got a lot of people caught up on Blue Mage stuff really quickly and then had no attendees. So, which is good because that means it was successful, but at the same time, it's kind of hard to keep that going all the time. So it kind of comes and goes. I think right now, like what Ceriz was saying, is a good opportunity to jump in and learn that stuff, and also know someone who knows a lot about Blue Mage that can help as well. But we've been asked to about a Blue Mage event a couple times. It's come up, and I think we might just focus on Beastmaster since we're so close to that. But we'll see. With enough folks, we'll see what happens. But it is a good time to get to know Blue Mage, like Cerez was saying. It is a limited job, just like Beastmaster. So it's going to involve some sort of collecting, probably animals. That tends to be the way Beastmaster goes in Final Fantasy. Usually you tame something and it becomes the thing that you use. We're not totally sure how that's going to work yet or what it's going to require. There are some ideas that because there was a Beastmaster shown in a certain piece of content in the game, that it might require that content to be unlocked. That's the Bosnia stuff. Not sure if they would gate a limited job behind relic content from Shadowbringers, but we'll see. So whatever gets announced, we could get those details at the next live letter here in a few days. So we don't know, but I don't know how much they're going to show when, because there's going to be a couple live letters addressing 7.5. So, and 7.5 probably won't be here for another couple months. So, like you said, good time to learn about limited jobs and Blue Mage. Definitely. Thank you, Cerez.
Thank you. I don't know how to. Do I hit the button to leave?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you again. Ben, thank you for hosting this every time. It's been great.
Thank you, my friend. All right, guys. Let's see. Once again, if we had any other questions, proposals, any sort of feedback for Council and I, if you guys just want to say, oh hey, you guys, I really liked this about the FC. You guys did a good job, or you've got an event of your own to I'm planning to do a run of this. Just a good time to have this open forum with everybody. This can also be for Wings too. This, like I said, we meet here in 14, but this is a community-wide stream. So, one thing actually I meant to mention regarding Destiny was that we brought back Destiny events last month after a short hiatus. We had a few months where we just put them on hiatus. We were waiting for the Renegades expansion to come out, and things were a little slow there for a minute. Well, now they're back in action and they're doing pretty well. Our idea is to keep things somewhat casual for a while until we get more of an idea of how many veterans and people start showing up more now that the events are back in rotation for Destiny. Sometimes with events, it takes time for something to exist for a while, and announcements and things like that to get people in the know of like when things happen. And of course, like I said earlier, not every time is going to fit everybody, but we're trying our best to at least offer 2 different days for that. And one thing that we started doing as well is requesting that our Azure Wardens make their trips to the tower to see Xur and all the other stuff, and inventories, builds. We need those things to be completed prior to the event. We've had a couple events since coming back where we just spent way too much time at the tower, like 45 minutes at the tower working on builds before actually getting into content. So let's keep trying to do that stuff beforehand, and as best as we can. So sometimes there is a good reason to go back to tower and check on a couple things, clear message box and stuff like that. But just one thing I meant to mention earlier. We've been mentioning that a bit more lately. Krayoth says in chat, I don't think I can talk on my earbuds at the moment, but I'm new here and you all are great. So thank you for having the FC you do. Even the after dark moments, secretly the best. And in parentheses, what's he talking about? After dark, you say. Okay. Thank you, Krios. Yeah, no, it's been awesome having you here, man. Thank you for all the support so far and being active with us. Twitch chat. It's very funny. All right, Kato has requested to speak. Kato, bring you up to the stage here. Welcome, Kato.
Hey, people. Just wanted to quickly say that with the variant dungeon coming out, I'll be doing that and trying to get the special mounts and everything from that. So if anybody's looking to do that, I'm also trying to get all the rewards for that.
The new one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And thanks for the assembly.
Thank you very much, Kato. Yeah, and like I said earlier, with the new variant coming out, like I said, there's reasons why we are not doing an event for it, but like with Sergeant Kato here talking about wanting to go in and get the rewards for that, that's one contact for sure that you can join up with. Go do those things here in just a few days when that releases. Very exciting. That is the Merchant's Tale, very unique looking. Deep dungeon, or I keep wanting to call it deep dungeon, variant dungeon. Let's see. Calypso has a comment. Quick comment. Love this FC. Been here almost a year. I believe y'all have been nothing but helpful and accommodating. I've seen members come and go. Sadly, oops, my chat. Oh no, hold on. Let me bring that up a little bit more. Where were we at? Members come and go sadly, but the regulars have been here for advice, help with dungeons, helping a brother out with a spot of gil. You folks are amazing. Keep being you. Wish I could contribute more, but I'm not at the end of Dawn Trail yet. It's okay. Try to help out where I can and donate items to the FC chest where I can. Got nothing but love for you, Azure. Thank you. Thank you, Calypso. Appreciate that. Our community here is really a labor of passion and love. It really is. This is a lot of people here have been in guilds across many games, have a long history of MMOs, some longer, some shorter. And I think we all kind of share some of the same desires for community, and just making it the best we can. So, what they say about the good old days, right? You don't know until they're over. You don't realize you're in them until they're over. And I like to think that, these are good old days that we haven't, that haven't ended. So, there may be times in the future when, gaming could get into a place where it's slow and there could be a drought of good things. 14 could age and we could get to a point in the future where we look back on it and go, man, I sure miss those times back in Dawn Trail going into 8.0 when this was going on and all this stuff. I mean, Azure's not going anywhere, but you never know. You could be looking back on these times and so we want to make the most of as much time as we have together. So 100%. These are special days. Yep. Let's see, you've got a number of really nice things being said. I can't keep up with them all. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Krios. Thank you, Star. Yeah. Yeah, no, I do agree, Krios, specifically on the free-for-all comment. Krios said, in a VC chat here, he said, or the organization of the FC, he says, just damn. Hats off. Nice to have someone run the FC and not be a free-for-all. Yes. And that's the thing about communities, too. One of the quotes of mine that kind of goes around sometimes is that one of the problems with FCs is that technically they can be made by just anybody, and I don't mean that as an insult to anyone. It is literally the fact that you have folks that don't have experience in running communities or don't care as much about developing each other's progress or fun or making bonds with people. You don't have people who have a lot of experience in the needs and the juggling act, or folks that'll even hang in there and endure for 10 plus years. I have read some guild leader handbooks that have been written by ex-WoW leaders and people from different games and going back to EverQuest and stuff, and I've noticed that like one of the constant statistics that comes up is that a lot of guilds don't last more than 6 months. And even if they're not disbanded after 6 months, a lot of times they'll enter a long, slow death, right? And I think many people here can probably vouch for that in a lot of things they've seen in the past. You might have been in a guild where barely anybody talked, or nobody new got recruited ever, and there was no like, joy in logging in because, oh, great, a chat channel and a roster. Okay, well, anybody can have that. But what if we go the extra mile? What if we make this thing really, really incredible? We have all the tools at our disposal to do this, and a lot of us have either a little bit of time or a lot of time. It varies, but the consistency, right? That consistency, just like a blacksmith hammering a sword, you keep pounding and you keep pounding. And eventually, you've got a perfect blade. And, I feel like this is always something that we can keep pounding, keep working on, keep molding. And, we do this together. I do lead, but we do this together. And, our members are very appreciated in this community. So we try to show that by providing the best we can. And, I'm spread thin a lot of the times, but I'm also always around. It's very rarely, if you don't see me, it's in some form, even if it's not VC, if you don't see me or any of my alts online, there's probably a good chance that I might be, asleep. Otherwise, I'm here. So being able to work at home and, do my stuff online and have a lot of systems running is a big plus for being an active leader. But we have so many amazing support and leadership members here, who are really good at managing their time and trying to stay involved, trying to stay hands-on. So visible leadership is very important. Consistency, stability, activity. These are all really big things to make a community run really well. So, we care about our community. We have, our own customs. We love our color blue. That's part of our guild philosophy. As free as the azure sky is our motto. First shouted when we left the Hall of Blades back in the day under a clear blue sky and lavender beds. We have a history. We have it all. We have it all in a sense. And we've got our own trolls too, who don't understand, who aren't used to guilds like this, who aren't used to organization, and will criticize it. And that's okay. They're allowed to. It's their right to do so. And you know what? I think we need them. Let them do their job. Let the haters do their job. Tends to bring a lot of curious people our way that ended up becoming longtime members. So, I love you guys. Thank you so much for attending today. I don't see any other questions or comments. We do have one. Staravia. I've had a lot of fun here in Azure, more than I've had a long time in 14. It's been a great mix of everything. It's awesome how active and friendly everyone is. Very happy I found this FC. Thank you, Star. Thank you. I'm very glad. A lot of effort does go into this. So, we'll just keep pushing. We'll keep doing this together, and like I said, our goals are infinite, unending. Our possibility, potential together as a community is infinite as the azure sky above. All right. Thank you, my friends. If there's anything, sometimes we have folks that might want to say something outside of chat, maybe not in the group setting. Oh, Leaf has something. Okay. Sorry if I missed. I'm looking at a lot of chats, so please forgive me. Let's hear from Leaf here before we finish. Okay. Let's see here. Did you want me to announce that, Leaf, or what you just sent me? Or is this, you just want me to make a note of that? All the information for Beastmaster stuff, our contests. Okay. Yeah. The information will be posted in a Discord channel tomorrow. It'll all be available, all the information. And so what, guys, real quick, what Leaf just said, Leaf will match the Beastmaster contests with the rewards and wants to double the rewards for it. So that's going to make whatever we, announce even more of a reward. Very exciting. Thank you, Leaf, for that amazing and extremely generous contribution to our contest. Okay. Where's that at, Aslan? Real quick here. I'm trying really hard to keep track of three chats. So is that in DMs? Did you want to come to the stage, or? pinged in Grand Assembly. Okay. Oh, that's because my thing scrolled up. Okay, gotcha. Aslan says, I just want to let everyone know that if they ever need an invite to the Warframe wing, please ping me. That's what Aslan said. That's Aslan Lycoria, our scout captain. Ping me in Discord. He says that he can invite anytime. If you have any event ideas or ideas for the Warframe wing, he would love to get a host of ideas in mind, so that when we do kick off those events for Warframe, we have a variety of ideas for whenever. Very well said. Thank you, Aslan. Sorry, I missed you there. All right, my friends. Thank you to those watching on stream that have joined us and stuck with us. Those who are watching this assembly cast, once it's compiled and posted here in the very, very, very near future, streams on Twitch actually have a cooldown where you can't get the VOD right away until like about a day or so. So that will be announced in announcements. So if you want to share this VOD, this assembly and its recording with your friends or other people, maybe someone's on the fence and they're like, what is this interesting community? What are they doing in this cool looking assembly chamber? You can send it to them. You can also listen to it again if you want to catch up on announcements before they're posted again online or on our announcements channel. And that will be up. Thank you guys in the future who didn't attend here with us today, but check this out as well. This will be highlighted for up until the next assembly. So looking forward to so much to come. And remember, tomorrow Sunday is actually the 1st of March. So there isn't a PvP event here. The regular one, the Super Azure Slayer Sunday, that is every 2nd and 4th Sunday. So starting tomorrow, Beastmaster information on Discord and posted online, and entries will be all handled through Discord, and like I said, voting at the next assembly as well as the live show, Azure Day weekend. That is the last weekend of March, 28th, Saturday the 28th, and Sunday the 29th for Azure Day weekend. And don't forget, there will be a big program guide with all hour-by-hour events. Thank you guys for coming to Azure Grand Assembly February 2026. Appreciate you all. Hope you guys have an amazing month. And thanks again for supporting Azure Infinitum. As free as the Azure sky.